Welcome to another episode of Ring Walk Boxing Podcast. I am Bean, and if you're here today, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. We got a special guest today. If you've been following my social media, he's been tagging me. I've been tagging this good brother, and he's here out of Boston, Massachusetts, USA. Ladies and gentlemen, the commissioner, Ray Trilogy.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? It's good to be here with you, my brother. We finally get a chance to, chop it up on Rain Walk, Boxing Podcast. You know what I'm saying? And it's a pleasure of mine to be here. You know what I mean? Definitely a pleasure to be here with a good brother who is talking boxing and is giving it to everybody the right way. On no troll stuff, you know what I'm saying, but the right way, you know what I mean? And I respect the grind, my brother. As you know, I have my show as well. I got a couple of shows. I had a couple of shows. You know what I mean? But if anybody, if y'all know boxing, if y'all really tapped into boxing, you tapped into the culture of the real ones that really doing it, you got to know who I am. I'm the commissioner, aka Trill Dollar Bill. You know what I mean? You see me on every podcast. I started off with the Boxing Bros, then I branched out, got with our Boxing Hub, created my own channel. I got my own podcast that just started up about a week ago called Across the Way from the US to the UK, where I tag team with my brother Rico Boxing from the Boxing Voice. So you already know we got something dope going on here. You know what I mean? So it's a pleasure to be here, man. It's an honor to be here with everybody. Chop it up about this sport that we love so much. You know what I mean? And to me, it's the best sport ever. Like I tell everybody all the time when people be asking me, right? I think basketball's cool. I think football's cool. I think baseball is all right. My kids have been putting me on to soccer. You know, my UK friends they'll be mad because they call it football, but we call it soccer. All right, and we'll just keep it real. We call it soccer. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, all those sports is cool, but there ain't nothing like the sweet science. There ain't nothing about the sweet science. It's my favorite sport. You know what I mean? I'm good at all sports. You see me, I'm a black brother, so you know I'm good at everything. You know what I'm saying? But boxing is my favorite sport, and I love it, man. So once again, man, I'm happy to be here, man, and to chop it up with a like-minded brother like yourself, man. This is gonna be one of those ones.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, like I said, anybody who's viewing right now, even if you like play this back later tonight, tomorrow, just when you come here on YouTube at Ringwalk, hit the thumbs up. Just take a quick second, smash that button for me. It helps the algorithm.
It only takes 2 seconds. Only takes 2 seconds.
Only takes 2 seconds,
Two
That's
seconds.
all.
Show a little love. You know what I mean? But like I was saying, there's no better sport than the one that we about to talk about, my brother. So yeah, what's
There it is. Absolutely, man. And right before we get into the thick of stuff, shout out to my cousin Trill, Lando Jones. He's always calling me. He's the one that got this T-shirt made for me, got me on the magazine a few months ago. So let me represent In Your Face magazine with him and his partner up in Cleveland, Ohio, and his partner down south in Atlanta, Georgia. I just want to make sure, hey, I'm giving y'all that love and letting people know here in the Cincinnati, Ohio area and nationwide in your face magazine. So let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, matter of fact, let me share this too. Let me share this, y'all, to Twitter and Facebook. I'm gonna share this link right now. So for those who follow me and him, I'll tag him on the sites. So I'm gonna share this to Facebook right now. So y'all can tune in.
make sure y'all tune in and like the brother said, man, make sure you please like, you know what I'm saying, and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds.
That's all. It just takes a
Not even
couple seconds.
not even 5 seconds. It's like a half a second. It's like, you know what I mean?
Facts.
The quick, you know what I mean? And you'll get right to it. You heard me? Oh, you got
Mm-hmm.
that button, you know what I mean? But yeah, while you get into it, it's a lot going on here, man. It's a lot going on in this sport we love.
Facts.
This is crazy. We, but I know we about to chop it up.
Yeah, I'm tagging you right now on FB as we speak with this link. All right, Facebook, y'all. So those who are on here, tell your friends on Facebook if they follow boxing to come here to Ring Walk Boxing Podcast YouTube. Um, so let's go ahead and get ready to get it in. So I like to always do this something a little bit different. Um, because my following is so big on Facebook and it's grown over the years. I've been doing ring walks since 2023, and I like to like correspond with people and brief a few things I see on Facebook, a couple of posts that we interact on boxing, and I like to give people their shout outs. So I'm gonna do that real quick as we warm up before we jump in some of these topics. So one of these posts I dropped, I'm gonna read it for y'all. Because I like the dialogue from different people. I love that dialogue, you know. So so one of them was we talked about Errol Spence's retirement. Andre Ward says Errol Spence is Hall of Fame worthy. That's what Andre Ward says. So does Shakur Stevenson. He also was on the side of Andre Ward to say, "Hey, um, Errol Spence is Hall of Fame worthy." So in the comment sections, we had a few people that weighed in. Um, Mike Ware out of Cleveland, Ohio, who's now in Texas. You said he will get in. I'm a Spence fan. His career isn't really Hall of Fame worthy. And then in the replies, Ali from over in Europe said, no, he won't. Not even close. He says, Mike Ware, I respect him. I was at the stadium when he broke Brook for the IBF. He fought hard. He deserves respect, but he ain't no Hall of Famer. So, Mike, you replied and said, if they let Ra- Tim Bradley, Rafael Marquez, Artur Gotti, he will get in. Ali responds, Gotti is a Hall of Famer. Bradley was a company man. He shouldn't be there if he is. He fucked Khan. I don't know what you mean with that FFS. Uh, LOL. Don't know who Raphael is. Mike Ware responds, Gotti, no Rafael Marquez. Marquez who beat Pac's brother. So he must be talking about Pacquiao, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he talking about Rafael Marquez, Juan Marquez's brother.
Mm,
You know, who had those wars. He had those wars with Israel Vasquez. They fought 4 times. They had 4 wars. You know what I mean? Just ask me. I'll tell you. I'm like the Burt
okay.
Sugar boxer. I'm a boxing
Yeah.
historian. I don't play with this sport like I told everybody else. Basketball and football, those sports is cool, but they ain't nothing like the sweet science. From now on, call me Trill, aka Burt Sugar, and I'll let you know.
What's up, Wayne? What's going on, mate? Over in the UK. Thanks for following through like you always do. Um, okay, Montel Banks out of Columbus, Ohio. Shout outs. He said a lot, so we're gonna read it off. Montel says, I think people are looking at the end of his career instead of the total body of work. Earl Spence Jr. is a 2 division world champ, unified 3 of the 4 welterweight titles, WBC, WBA, and IBF, defended the IBF title multiple times, and spent years as one of the consensus top 5 pound for pound fighters in the world. Before the car accident and before the eye injury, he was widely considered one of the best fighters on the planet. Look at who he beat. Kell Brook in England to win his first title. Sean Porter in the Unification War. Danny Garcia, your Dennis Hughes. To become a three-belt unified champ, Lamont Peterson, Mikey Garcia, who many thought would outboxing, Chris Algieri, Carlos Ocampo, and others. Those were not just wins, they were championship level opponents. People who forget the adversity. He came back from a horrific Ferrari crash that doctors said could have ended his career, then suffered a detached retina that canceled the Pacquiao fight. Most fighters don't come back from one of those, let alone both. He returned and dominated Danny Garcia, then stopped Yugas to unify the division. Does the Crawford does Crawford loss hurt? Absolutely. But losing to an all-time great at the end of your prime doesn't erase everything you accomplished before that. If we're being consistent, one loss shouldn't wipe away years of elite wins and championships. Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? That's debatable. But a Hall of Famer, I think his resume says yes. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, brother, you covered it all. You covered it all, except for the Chris Algieri and the whole compass thing. But you know what I'm saying? You covered it all, and I totally agree with you. I think that people saying that Earl is not a Hall of Famer. Um, I want them to keep that same energy against Triple G. Because I hear a lot of people be saying, oh, you know, Triple G's, he's going to the Hall of Fame. But when it comes to Earl, I don't know it's because of, I don't know why. But you know what I mean? Exactly what this young man said. Earl, his resume speaks for itself. And he grabbed 3 of the 4 belts that was out there. You know, people might say, oh, he didn't go nowhere else. He just stayed at that weight class. So did Triple G. And Triple G didn't have the accomplishments and fight the caliber of people that Earl Spence did. So, and I believe Earl Spence deserves to get in there, and I believe a lot of other people that got in there, you know, didn't have the type of accolades and didn't have the type of people like Fernando Vargas. I love Fernando Vargas. He got in there, but I don't think he had a good career or a resume like Earl Spence either. You know what I'm saying? And Fernando's my guy. But yeah, I think that he'll definitely get in there. I think he hit the nail on the head. When you look at his whole body of work, I think he gets in there. I done seen people get in for less, for sympathy picks.
Well, y'all heard it. So people in the chat room as you come in, let me know, weigh in on what y'all feel. If you have a pushback, just put it in the chat right there. If you have any pushback on that.
They won't.
Exactly. um, I'm tagging a few of y'all from UK and over here in the US and in Africa. I'm gonna try to tag y'all on this post in the comments. So if y'all on Facebook, come on over because we just getting started. Basically, we about to grill out. We got the coals getting nice and hot, and we got the stuff marinating, and we about to throw it on the grill here in a second, y'all. You said I agree. Spence should get in. Shout outs to RK. Thanks for coming through, man. Um, I think you're new, so I appreciate you coming through and taking some time to chop it up with me and Ray Trilogy, the commissioner. Thanks for coming through for sure. Your support really matters. And let me know how y'all hear everything in the comments. Is everything pretty smooth?
Yeah,
I know I'm
everything
using this.
on my end.
Okay, because I know I use my mic, and sometimes I just want to make sure it's not clashing with anything in here. I'm trying to make sure my wires are cool. So If y'all hear anything in the chat room, let me know, and I will try to get it sorted out. But we're gonna jump right on in, y'all, because like I said, we got the coals nice and hot. They're about to turn gray or whatever, so that grill is nice and warm. All right, so let's talk about I don't know, a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Tyson Fury versus Marius Walk. Marius Walk, age 46. The same guy that Moses and Tuma took out in like 2 rounds. Um, how do you view that fight in Thailand? How do you feel that Tyson Fury looked against Marius Walk?
Oh, Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury looked like crap. Tyson Fury looked like crap, and he's been looking like crap. You know, and this has been not for real. I gotta say this all the time, man, because it's only so much, right, that
Mm,
you can keep abusing the alcohol and the booger sugar before all that takes away of you. How many times did we see Tyson Fury falling over flat on his face in pubs and embarrassing himself, embarrassing his family, embarrassing his sport? You know what I'm saying? You see this guy, and then he comes in here in the ring looking like, you know what I'm saying, a blob. He just looked horrible. I'm glad he had the opponent that he had, because if he was in there with one of the real killers, we wouldn't possibly be getting this fight that we might be getting in November. But it looks sad. It looks sad. Hopefully he can get it together. But he was wondering why he's been losing, and he's been a half a step behind. And I'm gonna tell you why. You can't keep on abusing your body. You see what happens in this sport when you do. If you want to have longevity, you take care of yourself. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I seen it, and I thought it was horrible.
okay, okay. Um, and since we're talking Tyson Fury, one thing I definitely like to do is try to get things as precise when it comes to Tyson Fury and the timeline and stuff. So I'm going here on this little box rec real quick. And me and you gonna talk a little bit about Tyson Fury. So Tyson Fury, 36 wins, 25 losses. I'm sorry, 36 wins, 25 by KO, 2 losses, and a draw. Of course, that draw was by Wilder in that first fight, right? And 2 losses are by Usyk. So this guy has a 69% knockout ratio.
And he got a gift.
Um,
He got a gift. Don't forget the gift from Ngannou.
and that too. A lot of people argue
That
that Ngannou that that he got over, but I mean, he had a lot riding on the fact that if he didn't get past Ngannou, the Usyk situation, it wouldn't have been the same. So he definitely got a favor. Um, so let's just talk about Tyson a little more in context. So I hear all these people saying, "Oh, Tyson Fury always got up every time he was dropped." Okay, this is true.
yeah. Okay.
But other than Wilder, who some say Wilder don't even have a steep resume himself. His resume is pretty shallow as well, but he's dangerous. I mean, is he dangerous? Yes, we know that, but he's not fundamentally sound. He doesn't have. I mean, I think the worst mistake Wilder made, and I'm gonna say it like I said it way back in the day. I feel like the worst mistake he made was getting rid of Mark Breland. You got rid of somebody who actually knew what he was doing. Somebody who wanted to have you drilling and doing the right things and not taking shortcuts. But when I heard the backstory, I heard that you wanted to have JDs and all these other guys and these yes men, and you didn't want the man who knew what he was doing.
Listen. We all know this. Everybody see my tweet on X. If you haven't, go see
Mm,
it. My tweet went viral. I said that. I said the biggest mistake that Wilder did was leaving Mark Breland, because Mark Breland was telling him what he needed to know, not what he wanted to hear. What I mean by that, all JD's was telling him all he needed was the big right hand. You know what I'm saying? He didn't need to do road work. He didn't need to jump rope. All he needed was the big right hand. All he would tell people is he don't have to be perfect for 45 minutes. All he got to do is land a big right hand. So he just based it everything around landing this big right hand. And when he did that, he was going backwards. I think his best win to me was the time when he beat Stavern for the title. When that first fight, the first fight when he went the distance with Stavern, and he went. You seen that Wilder throwing the jab, moving around, using the hooks, slipping punches. That was the Wilder that I thought could beat Anthony Joshua. But then we started seeing the progression happening because he only started to rely on the big right hand to the point where when he got into the ring with Tyson Fury, a guy who's been fighting since he was a young kid, he couldn't do nothing. He couldn't land that, even though he was still able to drop Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? That shows a lot about Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? But even though he was still able to drop, this is Deontay Wilder. People forget who Deontay Wilder is. This was a young man who got into boxing late because he wanted to provide for his daughter because she had spinal. I forgot.
Bifida, yeah, spinal bifida,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. And he got into boxing for her. That's what made me commend Deontay Wilder. He was willing to go in there and die for his daughter. Because that's what these guys, this is competition, right? But you know what happens in this sport. This sport is unforgiving and it's punishing on the body and it's taxing on the body. That's why you see the faces swell up because the face ain't supposed to be punched. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he was out there doing, right? So he could take care of his baby. I commended him for that. The thing with Wilder is he played himself. You get back what you put out. That's what this sport is. You get back what you put out in this sport, and this sport will let you know. This sport is like life, right? If you cutting corners, you a cheat, you a quitter. It's gonna all come out in that square circle.
Mm, you said a mouthful. Yo, Jet, thanks for following through, man. Thanks. Hopefully you having a good Sunday as well, man. And one thing about us chopping it up, I try to be as non-biased as I can. Hey, if I make a mistake, I'll stand corrected or whatever. But thing is, I'm not holding nobody's hand or pacifying because I've seen too many people pacify Wilder. And I understand, yeah, like I told somebody, I understand Deontay Wilder started late, around age 20 or whatnot. But still, if you look at from the time he started to where he is now, nothing's changed. That's a lot of years of you just relying on the right hand. At least with Anthony Joshua, who started late, you can see the desire that he's actually trying. Even if he falls short, you can see that he's trying to sponge up mentally. Like, okay, let me go over here. I was with Rob McCracken, then I was with Robert Garcia over here, and
He's
then
willing to learn.
he's willing to learn. And that's all Wilder needs to do is be adaptable and willing to learn because he could have really been
Be a
something.
student of the game. It's okay to be a student of the game. You still got guys who won multiple titles, still get going in there and getting advice from the greats and other people going in camps with all these other guys because there's nothing like you. Listen, you're not done learning. No matter how old you get, you're never done learning. That's why I respected AJ. Because he showed me that he really loved this sport and that he was willing to learn and he wanted to get better. We seen that after the Ruiz fight when he lost, and then he came back in the rematch, and he had a Muhammad Ali ish performance. When I say that, a Muhammad Ali ish performance, what I mean is he boxed his ears off, used that jab. He even had on the white and red trunks like Muhammad Ali used to wear. He went and put the paws on that boy. I don't even think Ruiz won a round. And that's what I like to see. He was the student of the game. Even with the losses that he had with Usyk, I admired the passion and the crash out that he had in the ring when he was like, I tried, I gave it my all. This guy is amazing, you know what I'm saying? But I tried, I really tried. I seen it in him. He really gave it everything he got. And the fact that he was able to be vulnerable in that ring and show everybody made me commend him and have a lot of respect for Anthony Joshua.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. RK, you said speaking facts about Wilder. Every time he had Fury in trouble or down, he didn't have the fundamentals to finish him. Bingo,
Right.
bingo.
Because all JD's was yelling, throw the right hand, throw the right hand.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's true. I mean, okay, this man. You have a dynamite right, and you normally load up to land that right hand. But if you look at it for what it is, look at Dubois or AJ. These guys are punchers as well, power in both hands. When you saw Dubois know that he had AJ hurt, it was full throttle. It was like, okay, I'm gonna finish my man. Although AJ kept getting up, I'm gonna finish my man. Wilder, it hit you, you get up like Fury did. He looked surprised, like, oh, because in his mind, oh, this didn't work. I just hit him with the right that I always knock everybody else out with, but this man gets up. You know what I'm saying? He never had no type of finishing moves or no type of didn't really go to the body. He was a headhunter, neglects the body,
Hmm.
and going to the body is very fundamental in boxing. That's one thing these guys don't do anymore. Very rarely do guys go to the body. That's why I like
Yeah, you kill the body, the head of die.
there it is. Yeah, there it is. There it is, man. Book, you said Wilder is a one trick pony. He's old and set in his ways. He's stubborn. He plans on going out with the style he has that's clear as day. I couldn't have said it better, man. Wilder needs to make major adjustments years ago. He's not going to change. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, at this point, he has a handful of fights, so he's just out here now, probably just to get a bag. You know,
Hmm.
if Usyk blesses him and fights him as a farewell last fight, hey, that's just a good bag for Wilder. You know, but other than that, Wilder just has a puncher's chance anytime he step in the ring. But
Yeah, but he got one more payday coming. Wilder got one more payday coming. Trust me, he got one more payday. That's because my man Alexander Usyk has a great heart, and he said that he will give him a chance. So I think he'll probably give Wilder one more chance to get a big old bag. Because fighting Usyk, you're gonna get a couple of M's. So I think he's gonna hook Wilder up with a good send off package. You know. And he gets to say that he beat all those guys that was in his generation, and sail off in the sunset, or go ride off in the sunset, whatever, however you wanna.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, Cuzzo, I see you, Sweet Jones. Sweet Jones, what's up, Cuzzo? So okay, so it's only right since I spoke on Tyson Fury's name, and like I tell people, it don't matter if I'm a fan of a boxer because I never go so far to be a fan to where I can't be objective. So
Hmm.
hey, I'm a lay it on AJ. I'm an AJ fan, but I'm gonna lay it on him just like I would lay it on Tyson or lay it on Wilder.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, like I tell everybody, I'm a fan
mhm.
of boxing. I'm not a
There it
fan of
is.
fighters.
There it is.
I'm a
Yep.
fan of boxing.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
that's how I roll. But yeah, let's get AJ the fire.
Okay. So we're gonna light the torch to AJ. So AJ's last performance against Christian Pringa,
Mhm.
man. What's your perspective and
My
analysis
my
on that one?
yeah, my analysis when he first came up, the first thing I said before the fight even started, why does he look so dry? That's the first thing I said. He looks dry. He looks like he wasn't in the back doing the mitts. So it was very concerning for me when the fight started. I looked at my wife and I was doing a watch along as well. I said, Anthony Joshua looks really dry. It looked like he just, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't doing nothing. And it showed. It showed. Once he got in there that first round, it showed. And it wasn't even like something real. He just wasn't warmed up. But once he got warmed up and that engine started going, we seen what happened. It was good night, Irene.
Yes, sir. Good night, Irene. Just like that, and that's one thing about that man. I mean, hey, if he does recover, you're in trouble. So you better hope
You in
that
trouble.
whatever you do, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
like Daniel Dubois, where you heard him to the point where it's like he getting up, he's still on Queer Street. You know what I'm saying? Because
You
otherwise,
better charge at him.
you better go at him. It's like,
Yeah, that guy
yeah.
Pringle that he was fighting was in deer. He was like a deer in headlights. He couldn't believe what he did. He was so excited. He came out the second round and forgot what he did to get AJ hurt. He was just
Hmm.
standing there. He didn't know what to do. He was just shocked that he was able to do that. You know what I'm saying? To him, he already won. He already had a
Yeah.
moral victory. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't how it works. This was a 12-round fight, buddy. And then in the second round, AJ faced adversity in the first round, but in the second round. He came out and showed why we all love AJ. He has that dog in him. AJ really got that dog in him. I ain't mad at him. There was once upon a time I used to give AJ a hard time. I used to say he was robotic. You know, he was too stiff. He needed to get loose. But I seen after the Ruiz fight how much he loved the sport and how he wanted to get better. And he really, really, really wanted to get better. And he showed us that he wanted to get better. And every time we see AJ, we see something new. You know, something new that he learned. And he has no shame in his game about going to different camps and stuff and trying to learn from the best. So shout out to AJ. Even though the next time I hope he comes out, you know, saying warmed up already. Yeah, I don't want to see him
Yeah,
hit the deck. Because
that part.
he could have messed around. Both of these guys could have messed around and messed up the fight that we were supposed to be having in November 21st.
Yeah, facts, facts. Yeah, you don't want to mess up that kind of bag when you got like AJ said in the interview before the fight. It's like they dangling a carrot there, and I can see it in the distance. So you know Tyson Fury there. You cannot fumble this one, brother. Do not mess up this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Book Ray, you said my analysis of AJ is that he's fighting for a purpose at this point. He lost two of his closest friends in boxing, and that caused him to lose momentum. But I think AJ is on his way out. His punch resistance is gone. He's definitely a dog, but I think AJ has a glass jaw. Let's address that one
Hold on. I
too.
wanna
I want to talk
yeah,
about
yeah, I
glass
wanna
jaw too. I want to talk about the
yeah,
glass jaw.
yeah. Yeah, I was talking about the glass jaw. I think that the glass jaw thing uh has been blown out of proportion a little bit. Um to say somebody has a glass jaw, I can't say that he has a glass jaw. The reason why, because he got up. Every time he gets knocked down, he gets up. Like people saying, oh, this person is chinny. You know what I'm saying? People was calling Devin chinny. But that Devin got up every time he got dropped. You know what I'm saying? Like if we said American, then I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you if we said American. But I just think, this is the heavyweight division. And these guys are punching. You know,
Right.
there's some big boys up there, you know. So that's why I give him a little grace. I give him a little grace up there.
Yeah, and I did too, man. I kind of went back and forth on Facebook, so that's why I kind of like to bring some of what I see on Facebook here. So as far as like the glass jaw, that's been going around for a while, it's like I look at the people that he's fighting too. Daniel Dubois is a 95% knockout ratio puncher. So you
You
kind of
touch anybody,
expect
you
that,
going down.
yeah, if he hits somebody, well, yeah, it's gonna be a detrimental. It's gonna be crazy. You look at like a Fabio Worley, you saw him drop Dubois twice. For Dubois to have to get up to win the fight, he was dropped twice because Fabio Worley has that cannon. So these heavyweights had that kind of power. So I don't really look at it that far, or like you say, I don't blow it out of proportion because it's like these all these guys can pretty much hit for the most part, especially these guys that are
Definitely.
known knockout artists and they full size heavyweights. These ain't no like small guys like Cunningham back in the day when Steve Cunningham or Usyk who was a cruiserweight and moving up.
When Cunningham dropped Tyson Fury.
Yep, yep, and he was a small guy, and here Tyson is claiming to be 6'9", almost 300 pounds, and you let a dude that's like 220 or 215 drop you like that. So it's like that to me is more. If I put it in a category of a chinny, that to me will represent more of a chinny person than a person who was hit by another person his size or bigger. With a different momentum and a different velocity of force. RK, you said AJ did look dry. Question though, is his punch resistance getting worse? Seems if you touch him, he falls. But I like AJ. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I just think he's in there. I think well, the last fight he definitely came out dry. But I just think like what you was just saying before, he's just been in there with some punches. He's just been in there with some punches. Dan Dubois was a puncher. You know what I'm saying? Other than that,
Hmm.
ain't nobody else putting him down. We seen what happened with Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz got quick hands, and
Yes,
he
he
got caught
does.
coming in. That's what
Hmm.
happened. And I got to tell everybody once again too, when this is where AJ's problem is. When he gets dropped, it's because he comes in crazy because he's a warrior. He comes in trying to take these guys' heads off, and he gets caught in the exchange. Every time you seen him get dropped, as when he was running in reckless. You know what I'm saying? Like with Ruiz and with Daniel Dubois, he gets caught. You know what I'm saying? When he was trying to finish Ruiz, that's when he got hit. And that's when the same thing happened with Dubois. It's always when he's trying to go and finish a guy. He comes in reckless with his hands though down, and that's how he gets caught.
Absolutely. And another thing he does, I mean, to piggyback off what you just said, something I was saying, and then I saw Teddy Atlas say it, was that I noticed in the Dubois fight and in Pringa fight, when AJ is going back, he's going back in a straight line with his arms down like mine's. So all this is right here is like it's not protected. He's going straight back in the line. He's not doing anything to move off that center line, and he has his guards down. I'm like, what is this man doing? I don't know if it's just a lapse thing, like a lapse thing that he's doing and just not thinking, you know what I mean, at the time. But that's not good. That's something that they should correct with him. Hey, hey, Wayne, I hear you, mate. You said in the heavyweight division, if you get hit, you are going down. Absolutely. In fact, to your
Exactly.
point, Ruiz is going to be fighting. Speaking of Ruiz, he's coming back and he's going to be fighting that Damian Kimba. Um, and I think Damian Kimba was on the card of Canelo versus Bud Crawford, I think. But Damian Kaneba, man, you gonna see how Andy Ruiz is, and you gonna see probably Damian touch the canvas because Ruiz he's a dog like that, and I think people overlook him based on how he looked because that was the first impression when I saw him before I really knew his backstory and background. I'm like, man, AJ gonna smash dude before the first fight because I'm looking at the way he looks. But then I started researching this guy, and people like Evander Holyfield and different people like, man, don't sleep on this Andy Ruiz guy based on how he looked. Holyfield
Yeah,
said it.
yeah, definitely. I think
Leonard
that
Ellaby, Leonard
I think
Ellaby,
I think
yeah,
I think Eddie Hearn dropped the ball on that one. Eddie Hearn
yeah,
dropped the ball on that. He didn't do that wasn't a good replacement to replace the big baby Miller, big
facts,
steroid Miller.
facts, facts. Yeah, yeah, and I think, like you said, that was a bad style matchup at the time because AJ didn't know what he was dealing with. He didn't know that style. He never fought no guy with fast hands that keeps coming and a dude that got a granite chin. Because the way he ate AJ punch, people don't do that. Guys do not eat an AJ punch so comfortably like Ruiz did. He got up. He wasn't wobbly. He got up, and it was crazy. I'm like, whoa, because I ran it back. You know what I'm saying? Like slow motion. Like when AJ dropped him, I think that was round three. I think Ruiz gets up, and AJ hits him with another punch, and he ate that one too. I'm like, this dude different. Ruiz is different. RK, you said I still think the fight with Fury and AJ is 50-50. Hey, I'm with you right there, man. That's where my mind is at right now. I've been back and forth. At first, I said AJ is gonna stop him in 9 or 10, and then I said AJ in 7 after I seen the performance of Fury and Marius Walk, and then I seen AJ get dropped. But I'm like, well, at the same time, it is what it is. I mean, Tyson Fury is not known to be a power puncher like that. You know what I mean? I think if he fights AJ, he's gonna look like the Fury we saw back with Peter Fury. He's gonna be more like the fury we
Yeah.
saw against Vlad, kind
Yep,
of like
that's what I was gonna
on the
say.
back
That
there.
hit and hold. I totally agree with you. E is gonna be that hit and hold. That's the only way that he can beat Anthony Joshua. But I think at this point, I think this point in their careers, I would have to. I'm gonna lean more towards 55-45 AJ.
Okay, okay, I can dig it. I can dig it. I can definitely dig it. Yeah, yeah, that sounds definitely pretty accurate there. Where Tyson Fury still has a shot, but we know AJ has that type of power that's like
Yeah, the only reason why I say he has a shot is because of that style that he brings, right? Can be confusing, and then he has the best hold game possible. he he knows how to wrap a guy, tie a guy up better than anybody.
absolutely, man, absolutely. Okay, well, we're gonna move on to another subject, y'all. So let's recap last night, the main event, Lamont Roach Jr. versus William Zepeda. Mm-mm-mm. Oh man, what you feel about that one, fam? Um, as far as what I feel, Lamont Roach did kind of start off, you know what I'm saying, to an extent, coming in the first round, throwing some jabs here and there or whatever, but still he wasn't busy enough, you know, and he didn't do enough as far as his footwork. Um, he was pretty much letting Williams Zepeda dictate the pace. He set the rhythm and everything, and he don't stop. I mean, he has a high engine, a high, a lot of stamina or whatever, and he keeps unloading punches round after round. But Williams Zepeda doesn't have a whole lot of dimensions to what he does. It's just what he does well.
Yeah, that's what I used to think. That's what I used to think until last night, my brother. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mhm.
That's the pay that I have never seen before. That's a pay that, like everything you just said, that was fine and dandy. Like I was with you, but not that Zepeda we seen last night. That Zepeda was different angles. His footwork looked incredible. I don't know, did he go to the Lower Machenko school of footworking? But he was changing up. He was switching up. I was like, Lamar is in trouble. And he beat Lamar up. That was a good old fashioned butt whooping, and he put it on Lamont. And I don't know if it's because Lamont was throwing shade on another brother of ours, Devin Haney, but he wasn't going in there and doing what he was supposed to do.
Mm, okay, yeah. I mean, hey, you pretty much wrapped it up and summed it up very, very well, man. He did look good, and Lamont was just steps behind. Everything that Zepeda was doing. I agree, Wayne. You said Zepeda was amazing. He was. He was nothing short of amazing. Um, so
Yeah, he
so
definitely was. Like the painter was so amazing. He had me in there. I was looking at it like, listen, he looks. I, more fighters need to take a year off. Because yeah, to his excuse, he was saying his body was tired. That was his one thing. Like it was no excuses after he lost to Shakur, right? Williams Zepeda has always been my favorite, one of my favorite 135 pounders, right? I was saying that I wanted him to fight Tank at one point. But this is my thing. He was fighting 3 times a year. For like 3 years straight, he was fighting 3 times a year. It's like he needed that rest, and we seen how good that rest was for him. He had that year rest, and he came over here. And he put the pause. He put the pause on Lamar. Lamar looked like a deer in headlights, my brother.
facts, facts. He did, man. And since we're talking about Zepeda and a few things that just that fast within the first 24 hours of that fight, you see so much hit the circuit on social media. So let's talk about it as well. So Zepeda, of course, he beats Lamont Roach, um, and took a strap, right? He took a strap, right? Because
He
Lamont,
is the new, he's the
the
new
new,
and the new 135-pound WBC champion.
yeah. So Zepeda's now the WBC champ. Now I seen something on Facebook and elsewhere where a lot of people are talking about Abdullah Mason, and some people feel that Abdullah Mason stops William Zepeda, but that's a risky fight, and I like Abdullah. He's from Ohio, so of course, I'm rocking with my guy. But man, that's a that's no easy,
Not right now. Not
you
right
know.
now.
Uh,
Not right now. Abdullah Mason is young and he's up and coming. This is not a fight you want to put him in. I'm sorry. I know this is one of those things where, yo, he's a champion. He's a champion. But
right.
he's a young fighter. He's a young fighter. And people like, oh, maybe he'll learn something. Like I said before, that's a once in the blue Canelo. Like people always say, like, oh, the young fighter going there with the older fighter, he might be able to learn something. No, most of the time, a young fighter gets in there with somebody that's better and they damage the young fighter. And the young fighter is never the same. It's once in the blue with that or a fighter will learn something to become better. Canelo Alvarez.
Absolutely. Now, another thing I've seen circulating. Shout outs to AB from Cincinnati West Side, English Woods. So AB, there's a meme going around with AB saying that Tank would do Zepeda dirty, and it would be a cold knockout. Tank Davis. What do you feel
AB
about that?
supposed to say that.
Because
AB
I
supposed to
figured
say
like
that.
I know that's his little bro, so yeah, he's
AB,
going to say
yeah,
it. Yeah.
AB supposed to say that. And shout out to
Hmm.
AB for being loyal to his bro. But bro need to get focused. Like I told everybody before the Lamont Roach fight. I told everybody is documented. I got the video. I did a whole show on it. I told everybody, do not be surprised if Tank goes out here, he's not who he used to be. I said Lamont Roach might have the best night of his life, right? And the reason why I said that is because we all seen the same thing. This young
Mm-hmm.
man was going through so much stuff outside the ring. He was talking about retiring and doing exhibition fights. He was talking about, having one foot in and one foot out. Once the fighter starts talking about retirement, we know he's done. We know the fighter is done. And
Hmm.
with everything
Yep.
that this young brother was going through, in and out the ring, listen, I don't actually, because I know how the sport is. This sport is unforgiving. They don't care what you going through outside the ring. Once you sign that contract, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. We don't care if you had a shoulder injury. We don't care if your knee was. If once you get in that ring, nobody cares. You did? So I don't think right now that the young brother should be getting in there with anybody until he gets his head clear. Because you can mess around and get hurt really, really bad if you ain't 100% locked in. And I'm
You're
just keeping
right.
it a real.
Yeah. I
You don't
absolutely
play
agree.
boxing. You don't play boxing. We don't watch too many young fighters get seriously hurt and even lose their life in this sport that we love.
Facts, facts, facts. That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. Um, so let's take it back to the same weekend that Tyson Fury did fight and AJ. Recap: Boo Boo Andrade versus uh, Douglas Atade. It was hard to really gauge much off of that because the fight didn't last long. But everybody was saying that Boo Boo is back and this kind of stuff. And I'm like, Boo Boo has a nice style, but to say he's back, I wouldn't necessarily say he had ever left. I mean, he lost against a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? When he did lose, it wasn't like he just lost against anybody.
Who are you
Uh,
talking about?
Demetrius Boo Boo
Oh, shout
when
out
he
to
when, when he won over Douglas Atade.
Yeah, he did what he was supposed to do. That was
Exactly. Yeah.
that was you know what I'm saying? He's over or he's from over on my side of the woods, you know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Yep.
he did what he was supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
I mean, I didn't really put too much in there with him. You're an elite fighter. This young man wasn't. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I expect you to do that. So I'm not putting too much. I want to see him in there with the guy he was just arguing back and forth with. That's a good test. Put him in there with Charlo.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus Charlo, you know what I'm saying, had a visa issue because cause we're talking about
Yep,
uh
big Charlo.
yeah, Big
Big
Charlo.
Charlo.
Yeah.
Jamal.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm talking about
Jamal.
Jamal.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
Maul.
talking. Yeah, I'm talking about Maul. Yeah, put
Yeah.
Maul in there. Maul has some. I can't believe Australia. Australia, they was they started by criminals. It used to be a place where they housed overcrowded prisons. You know what I'm saying? When prison was overcrowded, they shipped into Australia. The nerve of these guys. They won't even let you in there with a speeding ticket now.
Right, right, right. Yeah.
Nah, I'm just hating as a convicted cut felon.
SK, you said agreed. Charlo should be next. Hold on, let me read the comment above you real quick. Roy B, you said, man, Tank let Roach get a check. Ain't they cool? Since we need to put that in perspective.
Yeah, I mean, he did let him get a check, but here's the thing. I think the fact that, he was talking about retirement and all that stuff. And then I think also with that did it put a false narrative on Roach. Everybody started saying because he had a good fight against the back flipper. Everybody started saying that he was one of them ones. I couldn't stand it. Just because you had a good night against a guy that had an off night, everybody started considering you being one of them ones. No, I never considered him to be one of them ones. I still remember hearing doing what he did to him. You know what I'm saying? And Roach has it, and ain't nothing changed about Roach. Don't. And another thing with Roach is he got in there with a guy that was bigger than him. When he had these tough fights and these draws, it was against guys that he was bigger than. People forget. Go back and look at that fight with him and Tank. He was way bigger than Tank. He was way bigger than Tank, and still fought to a draw. You know what I'm saying? Rightfully so. I thought that when he took a knee, it should have been counted. You know, but rightfully so. It was a draw, and we gave him so much credit to the point where he started crapping on Devin Haney and saying that he was the best boxer in the world. You know what I'm saying? Because we overvalued that win. We overvalued not even that win, that draw so much because people hated Hank so much.
Roy B, you said Andrade didn't study much for the fight with Benny. You can't come out giving your all with a guy like Benny. Yeah, man, Benavidez, man, he doing his thing, man. That's definitely somebody that I'm, you
And
know.
we call him a monster for a reason.
Yep, exactly, man. I call him a monster for the reason. Shout outs to David Benavidez, as Mike Tyson said, the Mexican monster. What's good, Mike Ware? You said I said Roach didn't change. We saw how the truth from Tank and Cruz really were.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, somebody else asked this same question. Shout outs to Prince Moran, my cousin from here, Cincinnati, A1,
Shout out to
Avondale.
Cincinnati.
RK asked the same thing. He said, "What do y'all think about open scoring?"
I hate it. I'll be honest, I don't like it. I don't like it. But I'm old. You know what I'm saying? I'm an
Yeah,
old guy. I think this is the pros. This ain't the Olympics. This is the
right.
pros. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Shoot, you go in there and show and prove and do your thing. So you don't have to worry about, you know what I mean? If you doing what you're supposed to do, you don't need to get some extra help to tell you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
You know what you're supposed to be doing.
man. That's well said. So So I want to ask that question to everybody in the chat. Mike Ware, Roy B, S. Cada, Wayne Smout, um, Sweet Jones, uh, Book. Let me know what y'all feel about the open scoring as well. RK, what do you feel about open scoring? All right, so let me ask you this then. Speaking of Boo Boo Andrade, in a hypothetical sense, how does he match up against Canelo? But also, how does Boo Boo match up against Billy?
Uh, I think right now, Google needs to fight somebody that's been out, just like how he's been out.
Hmm.
I think the Charlo is a good fight for him. Warm up. This guy that he did this to, he was supposed to do that too.
Right,
I'm not.
right,
I'm not. I'm not gonna give him props for. You know what I mean?
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like an NBA player going in against a high school player. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You're supposed to school the kid. You know what I mean? He was supposed to school this kid. So I'm not putting too much stock in this. But I will say, um, he took some time off. Maul took some time off. These guys to get it on. And there's always been animosity and bad blood between these guys. And I think it would sell as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And now that you broke it down like that, that would be a perfect matchup, man. That would be a perfect matchup. The timing to be right and everything.
Hmm.
Yeah. RK, you said as a fan, it takes the anticipation away. I don't like it. Yeah, we're not feeling it
I'm
either.
with you. I'm with you.
We're not
I'm
feeling
with
it
you.
either. The open
Yeah,
scoring.
we ain't amateurs. This is yeah, that's amateur boxing. We don't watch it amateur boxing. We ain't sitting here watching Olympics with open. Nah, I don't ain't for it.
Roy B, you said you think Tank will face Zepeda after his win with Roach, then fight Shakur?
I don't think we see Tank for a while. I don't think we see Tank. We might not even say Tank ever again. Too much stuff outside the ring. I don't know. We might be a while before we see the back flipper.
Right, right. And I did see some footage, and you probably seen it too, where he was on IG working with Jose Benavidez Sr.
Yeah, I seen him working with some people
So
too, but right. If he does come back, it's gonna be against a guy that we don't know. We don't know his name, where he's from or something. Ain't gonna be no he's jumping right back into the fire.
right.
Um, yeah, I just don't see it happen. I honestly, I know it's gonna sound a little crazy, but I just don't see it, man. I really, I really don't see it, man. I want to, but I just don't see it, man. I just don't. I really don't. I don't see him. If he does, that's good. You know what I mean? But he got to clear his head. There's just so much stuff going on right now. Like it's gonna
Absolutely.
be a while we see him in there with somebody. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Um,
Ain't got to worry about. I mean, not Tank Shakur. Shakur got. Are we gonna be talking about Shakur? Because if we're gonna be talking about Shakur, I'll follow the bouncing ball. I don't want to rush to anything.
oh yeah, we're gonna get to him for sure.
All right,
He
cool. I'll
definitely
wait.
is family.
I'll wait. I'll wait. I don't want to spoil you the surprise. You know what I'm saying?
um, so what about Canelo versus Billy? Your predictions?
I'm going with Saul. I've always been a Canelo fan. You know what I'm saying? Like Canelo's always been my guy. I even liked it when he fought Floyd. It made me even love him even more. You know what I'm saying? I've always been a Mayweather guy. I love Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? When he gave the young man the opportunity, I thought it was dope. I remember when they called it a split decision. This is what made me become a Canelo fan. When they read off that split decision, and then Canelo shook his head and said no. He whooped my ass. When Canelo shook his head and he said no, Nah, Floyd got that. You know what I'm saying? He was like,
Yeah.
nah, you're not gonna do that to Floyd. It made me be like, all right, cool, I can rock with this guy. And this guy, and Floyd told him that he's gonna become the face of boxing. And Lord of behold, he became the face of boxing. You know what I mean? So shout out to Saul. The problem is I think that he loses to the elites right now because people forget Canelo been boxing since he was 15 professionally. Professionally. He turned 15 early. He turned professional early. They could do that in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? So he was doing that, right? So he's young, but he's old. You know what I'm saying? So he's like his body, the wear and tear. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad he made some good money in this sport because I really think he wants to win a title, and he probably got one or two more fights after that. But I think only the elite guys can beat him, like the TCs and stuff like that. Other than that, I think he might get this. I think he might get this on the points. It might. I don't think he can stop at M. Billy, but I think that he still has enough tricks and tools in the toolbox that he can beat somebody like an M. Billy.
Yeah, and I feel like it's not going to be either guy stop. I don't think either guy stops the other, but I think that Canelo has the wisdom, has that veteran mentality to where he can he can get in Billy. And the thing about it too is how Canelo is so strange with him lately. Like we saw with Caleb Plant and different people, like he gets stronger later in the fight. So I think in Billy is going to be coming strong those first half of the fight, and as he may kind of slow down, Canelo's still going to be going full steam, and Canelo's going to clinch a decision.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm leaning more towards Saul, especially where we're doing this at.
That's let me see. See.
Especially we doing this in Vegas, or we doing some this with you know where the mariachi bands is playing. It's a wrap. Don't have this where the mariachi bands is playing.
It's going to be in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Oh, snap. I don't know.
Mhm.
Hey, I'm still leading to a Saul, unanimous decision. But it might be even tougher fight now that we over there with Turkey. But that's the only person that can pay Canelo the money that he wants to, come outside and play.
Right, right, exactly.
Nobody else got that money. Nobody got that 30 M's. And
Uh,
believe it or not, like people be like, oh, Canelo's not worth that money, especially even after he lost to TC. People forget who supports this. We love boxing. Don't get it twisted. We love boxing, but we gotta to the people that really, you know what I'm saying, hold boxing down. You know what I'm saying? And they really hold boxing down. The Mexican fans, they come out, they support their fighters, they buy their merchandise, they do all types of stuff when it comes to their, you know what I mean? It's kind of like the fighters in the UK. The UK, these guys, they support their fighters no matter what. It could be a Joe Smo from down the street, and they will sell out a pack arena for their guys. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
us over here, we got so much stuff going on. I can see why. We got basketball, we got football, and I get that. But when it comes to boxing, the Mexicans, man, they support the Mexicans. It's kind of like how the UK supports their fighters, but they coming out and they're spending their bread, hard-earned money. So Turkey Al Sheikh knows that he's gonna get a return with those pay-per-views because the Mexicans.
absolutely. That's a great point. Roy B, you said I believe it would be better fights if they don't show the scorecards.
Yeah, we with you.
Yeah. I agree, brother. You also said, Roy, Tank's not training, man. Why would he train for something he loves to not fight. That's crazy. Well, yeah, it's just he's not in the right headspace, and so many outside distractions outside of boxing. He just got too much going on. A lot of like turmoil and legal issues and things like that.
Nah, and again, people forget this is boxing. Everybody ain't everybody ain't the Floyd Mayweather, and you know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Like some people, like, yo, you're getting punched in your head. That's why when when people used to be like, I hate the fact that after a fight they stick the microphone right into a fighter's head. He just got his brains bashed out. What do you think he's gonna say? Something intelligent or something thought provoking? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? CTE is a real thing. It's the real thing. And these is fighters, man. Like I get it. We're at home and we chilling and stuff like that. But these guys is really out here, really, really putting their life and body on the line. You know what I mean? These guys is brains and stuff like that. It ain't what it is. It ain't what it is. Like somebody once said, it's like if you looking for them to say something thought provoking, man. It's crazy. That's why you see him lash out the things that he have. I think the young brother might have early stages of CTE. The stuff that we see in Tank do. I hope that, like he was talking about going to get a therapist. I really want him to go see and talk to somebody. That young man is still dealing with trauma from his childhood. He forget he had a crackhead mama who used to that left him. You know what I mean? Used to leave him alone in the house by himself. He had no food in the house, had to fend for himself. Imagine the things that he's seen. Imagine the
Right.
little things he had to go through. That young boy, he's still a kid. If you listen to him, he's still a kid with trauma. You know what I mean? So hopefully and then you put boxing and getting hit in your head and CTE, and then of course he's gonna have these incidents with the law. Of course he's gonna be wilding out and stuff like this. It's just human. It would happen to us too.
Hmm. Yeah, you make a good point, man. Definitely make a good point. Um, so we still got quite a bit to cover, man. So
Let's
you
get
got
it.
okay, you got time, cool. Rolly Romero versus Tefime Lopez. Interesting
I
style matchup here.
love it. I love it. And I tell you why, because it shows Shakur and Keyshawn that two friends can get it on. You dig?
Hmm.
It shows that two
Absolutely.
friends can get it on. And if you love your friend, why not make him some millions with him? You dig?
Man, that part. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about, man. Um, I'm gonna definitely say just don't, you know what I mean? Don't Rolly
Well,
Romero.
I don't like the quote. I don't like the I don't like to quote this guy because because I have daughters. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like to quote this guy. But I remember one time Mike Tyson was in the ring with Easton Clifford Easton, and they was
Uh,
asking him. He was like, "Yeah, this is my friend. This is my friend." And Larry Merchant said, "If this is your friend, why you knock him out like that?" He said, "Because we're fighters." And this is how you show your friend that you got love for him. You put some money in his pocket.
oh yeah,
You know what I'm
Clifford.
saying?
Yeah, the Black Rhino, Clifford
Yes,
ETN.
black. Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep. Yeah, I remember that part. I remember what he said.
Oh,
So yeah.
RK, you said Rolly wins by KO. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Hmm. Okay. Shout out to
Hmm.
Rolly. A lot of people be crapping on Rolly. I actually like Rolly. Rolly actually keeps it real about a lot of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, I
he's
think
brilliant.
Rolly,
Yeah.
and Rolly's a student of the game. Brody was a student of the game. People was forgetting all the success that he was having with Tank 2 in that fight before he overextended himself and he got caught. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
he was having some success in that fight. So when he went in there, he did exactly what Tank did uh to Ryan, purring that job and then coming forward, being aggressive, not giving Ryan the chance to set up, and he won that fight by doing his homework. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Rolly is not somebody to play with. Yeah, he jokes a lot. He jokes a lot, but he really be in the gym and he takes this thing serious. And the kid is athletic as well. He's been in combat sports since he was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
a 3 division black belt or some weird stuff like that.
Yeah. So
So yeah, he know about being in this combat sports. You know what I mean? So shout out to Rolly.
Yeah, man. And see, I like martial arts. Speaking of him, uh, I took martial arts back when I was like 7 years old. Me and my two older brothers. So shout out to my brothers down in Florida, down south. But yeah, we took martial arts back in the day, man. And ironically, our dad took martial arts back in his prime. Um, and I'd be looking at old photo books of my dad in black and white. Back in the day. I'm like, man, that's tight. One of the first people in his neighborhood to be a martial artist because back then
That's what I'm talking about.
everybody was boxing back then, so that was kind of something kind of new.
Okay, he was the last dragon, Bruce Leroy.
Yeah, Bruce Leroy. Yep, yep. Okinawa style. Okinawa style. Um. All right. So now this is a question I was going to ask, but now we kind of got more answers to it. Initially, I was going to ask, will we get Devin Haney versus Keyshawn Davis over the finish line? But right now, everything is kind of
Yeah.
crumbling.
Yeah, if y'all seen the video, I predicted this. I predicted this would happen. And people call me Trill Nostradamus. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I've been watching this sport since the 80s. I look young, but I'm really old, man. And I seen this happen before. We all seen this happen before. I don't know why we thought that this was gonna be different. We seen this many a moons ago. Okay, they've been doing this since the beginning of time, right? When this young man Keyshawn came out saying that he wanted $5 million off the rip. That's when I knew the fight wasn't going to happen. You see the video that I posted on your Facebook? I said, I don't think that this fight's going to happen. And I'm going to tell you this because I seen that he was pricing himself way too high. Your biggest price payday you ever got was $1 million. These guys offered you three. That's two times more than you ever got, right? And you still wasn't good enough for you, right? So that's what made me think that you didn't want this fight, my brother. You didn't want this fight at all. You was playing. You was pretending that you
Hmm.
wanted that smoke. You know what I'm saying? You was doing what other people do, using Devin Haney's name to boost your profile. You never wanted to fight him. And if you did wanted to fight him, you wanted to be overcompensated because in case you got embarrassed, just like Brian Norman Jr. got embarrassed. That's what that was. That's exactly what that was. You know what I'm saying? You wanted to be overcompensated because deep down in your heart, you knew you couldn't win. So you want to be overcompensated. So in case you get embarrassed and they don't want to show your face, because that's what basically was going to happen. Debo wasn't playing with him. Everybody was seeing those videos of Debo going crazy. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened. It had nothing to do with nothing. This guy never wanted to fight. That's why I called it that don't be surprised that this if this fight don't happen. Because we've seen this before. Guy coming there pricing himself out so high. You only made an M before. You only made an M. So you getting 3 million, that should have been what it is. And then they showed you what it is when they only gave you 2.1.
Right, and the thing about it, you getting that, and you get the incentive of, along with that 3 mil, you had the incentive of getting the strap, man. You gotta look at the
Now,
bigger
yeah,
picture. He was not
yeah.
looking at the bigger picture. He was
They
just
cheated. They cheated. He ain't never fought at no one. They cheated for him. They cheated and brought him right to the top of the line because he was doing all this. He was pulling up in the Debo's old neighborhood. Oh, where's Debo? Where's D? I want to fight. Every interview he went on, he was being disrespectful, saying all types of what I mean, things that we don't call other men, unless we really want to fight. You dig what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right.
You know what I'm saying? He's calling them all the B word, the P word, all this stuff. We don't call men that unless we really gonna get it on, right? So he
Uh-huh.
did all this stuff just to back out of this fight, knowing you would have gained the world if you would have beat Devin Haney. You could have wrote your own ticket. If you would have went in there and you would have beat Devin Haney, if you were so confident, you would have been able to write your own ticket, Keyshawn. But he didn't believe in himself, my brother. And that's why we seen what happened here.
Yeah, man. For sure, man.
His
So
bluff was called.
absolutely, man. Absolutely. It definitely was, man. He called his bluff.
And mark
So
my words, when he does reappear, because he's in hiding right now, when he does, when he does reappear, my brother, I bet you he's gonna be like, "Oh, y'all don't know what it is. Go being a young fighter. My mental health was messed up. Hashtag mental health." That's what he's gonna say. He's gonna blame it all on mental health. Mark my words.
deep, man. All right, y'all. Y'all heard what he said. So yeah, yeah. I mean, now that you said that, I kind of could see it going left like that and him doing something like that. yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
man.
you know how I ain't lying. You know how these kids do it. You know how it is. We old school, bro. You know how these youngsters be doing it now. They gonna blame everything on it. You know what I
Yeah, yeah. Let me say shout outs to my cuzzo, Cam J. Salute, cuzzo. Thanks. Appreciate you. RK says, I saw Shakur on a live podcast last night, and the podcaster called Bill Haney and asked about it appears Shakur wants too many stipulations. No comment on Keyshawn Duck.
The jig is up, my brother. Shout out to our bros in the comment, man. Y'all saying some dope comments, man. Y'all definitely got some dope questions in there, man. You got definitely some real boxing heads in here, man. I appreciate it, man. Uh, this is how I feel. The jig is up. Y'all see it. Y'all see it. The jig is up. You know what I'm saying? The
Mhm.
jig is up. You feel me? Um, they don't, these guys don't want no smoke with Debo. Yeah, when he lost to Ryan, right? When he lost to Ryan, this is what I was trying to tell everybody, man. You never kick a brother when he's down. Because when he get up, you're gonna look like Brian Norman Jr., right? When that stuff happened with Roland, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was, I mean, not Roland, with Ryan, excuse me. Everybody was quick to say this and that about Devin. Rolly was saying Devin's pillow fisted. You had Shakur, yeah, whenever he want to see it, it's on site. He know he can't see me. Everybody had this stuff to talk. They seen him after the Ramirez fight. Everybody still had all this stuff to talk. They was picking Devin while he was down. Devin used all that, right, and came back stronger and destroyed Brian Norman. And now, what do we got? Crickets, catch weights, all these stipulations. It's duck season over here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. They scared of Debo right now. They messed up. And the only person who was able to beat Debo is because he cheated like Craig did with the brick. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way you beat Debo if you got a brick. You got to cheat to beat him. These boys are scared. These boys are scared.
So we're gonna talk a little bit since we talked about Shakur and we talked about it a little bit earlier, but didn't really go into it. We're gonna go ahead and go there with him. So Shakur Stevenson signing over with Zufa a while back. And just kind of to address cross promotion. Was it in the best interest of Shakur to go to Zufa? Will he be fighting those illustrious opponents or will he not? And then
Listen,
the fact that King Ryan Conor Ben has a fight as a cross promo. Do you think that it will will it suit the same for Shakur though?
this is how I feel about the whole matter. Uh, listen, Shakur, man. I don't want people to think that I don't like Shakur Stevenson because I really do. I really think he's a talented young fighter. I
Yep.
just don't like when fighters do corny stuff. You know
Right.
what I
Call
mean?
a spade a spade. Yeah.
Yeah, I call
Hmm.
it spades. I just don't like it, but I really do think that the young boy can throw them hands, and he's very talented. The problem is he's barking up the wrong tree. You're at 145, unify at 145. If you don't want to unify at 145, there's a guy that's on your behind right now, and he wants all the smoke. And that's Oshaki Foster. He wants
Uh
all
huh.
the smoke. He even told you, I'll come to 140. I'll come to your hood. I want the smoke bad. And you're doing everything to avoid that smoke. right? You
Mm,
went out your
mhm.
way. You even hopped in a ring with this guy. You was calling him bees and all this. And he said, okay, bet. I'll come to 140. Let's go. I got the footage. I'll send it to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And now, what are you talking about? You talking about catch weights and doing everything else? No, you can go fight. What's the kid? The other kid, Ryo, that was calling him out, and they
Yep.
said they can unify. You know what I'm saying? The
Hmm.
kid Ryo just want to make some bread with you. Go ahead and unify at 140. Go ahead and fight Oshaki Foster. Keep Devin's name out your mouth because your fans are going to turn on you eventually.
And see, that's the thing, man. It's like that was so wrong to tell Shock, hey man, you beat my little bro, then you get the shot at
Mm-hmm.
me. He
Mm-hmm.
go ahead to handle his business. You know what I'm
And then you
saying?
and then you do this.
And then you pull this stunt. Like, man,
How many
mm,
little bros does Shakur got? And these
a
guys,
lot.
you know what I'm saying?
Well,
How
what's
many
that one?
how many bros he got?
A lot. What was that hip hop song back in the day?
A lot.
Dude, I think
Yeah.
he was from UK. And some you got a lot.
Oh, 21 Savage.
21 Savage, a lot. So when it comes to his
Yeah.
brothers, he has a lot.
Yeah. He has way too many brothers in this sport. You know what I'm saying? He
Hmm.
it's like he don't have to fight nobody. Everybody's his brother.
Right. And everybody your brother, and then you should have just been patient and waited to see what the zone had, because that would have been better if you signed with the zone. Then you got the direct link to everybody that's connected with the zone, because the zone's starting to do a whole lot. You know, the zone making big moves. So that to me, I don't understand why you would go with Zufa. I mean, I understand
Yeah,
because of
because
the
I
bag,
know.
but
Not yeah, the bag, and you can get to duck certain type of smoke. You can blame it on Zupa now.
you can blame it on Zufa. And there you go. Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We don't have to fight certain because we can blame it on Zufa.
Yep. Yep. That's gonna be your alibi.
That's what it is now. These guys don't want to fight. These guys don't want to fight, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Roy B, you said about the Zufa thing with Kerr. Do you think that's a way of ducking, or does Kerr not know he's signing to lose?
Uh, I don't know what they're saying to them, but like I'm not a fan of Zufa, to tell you the truth. I had never have been. Um,
Because look what they did to Job Pataya. All the stuff he had to go through.
yeah, I'm not a big fan of Zufa. I've been vocal on saying it. It's too many. They came in here saying that it was too many. Turkey came in the sport saying that there was too many belts in boxing. That was his thing. That's why he bought the Ring magazine. I was like, oh, we're gonna have 1%. You know what I mean? Now they just created another belt. You know what I'm saying? Which is gonna
Hmm.
then they probably going, you know what I mean? I don't see how this thing is. I think they're coming in here and we're doing business with a guy who always showed his disdain for boxing. How you gonna put a guy in charge of boxing who had his big disdain for boxing? I'm
This
talking about
thing,
Dana. I'm
right?
talking about Dana.
Make it make sense. Exactly.
Yeah, so I just think that this is I'm not a fan, and I think that this is gonna be bad in the long run. You know what I mean? And people say, "Oh, Turkey got the bag." Everybody got amnesia. Y'all forgot when PBC first started? They came out here. Everybody was getting all that bread. Everybody was getting all this type of money. Remember when Eddie first came on the scene? Everybody, the zone was giving everybody the bag. This is what they do when they first starting out. Everybody gets the bag. Everybody, that's how they get people to get over there. And then eventually, cooler heads prevail, and then people realize what they worth, and then it starts hurting them. It starts hurting them because they think that they worth all this money and they're really not. The
Yeah.
turkey be giving these guys all types of money, and it gives them a unrealistic idea of who they are. And then they go and check the numbers somewhere, and they not the man who they thought they was.
RK, you said Shakur last night asked the podcaster last night why Devin won't fight Boots or Zayas instead of asking him to go up and fight Devin. He also said he would not get credit for beating Shock.
Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? He would definitely give me. That's his excuse. If that's not a something to duck a person, why wouldn't it be? You know what I'm saying? You got people were loving you for beating Padley. You
Right.
know what I'm
And you know,
saying?
man,
Yeah. Listen, come on now.
say
You
that,
fighting
man.
Shock
Say that.
and
Uh huh.
for the culture, come on. They will love it, especially Shock talking that talk. And Shock was doing what? Too, he's going up. He's putting his mouth with, and he's talking about I'm daring to be great. Yeah, you will get all the props in the world because there's some people out there that think that Shock would be your biggest test.
Hmm.
Would think that Shock would be your biggest test because Shock sees something in you. Shock sees something in you, and I see it. You know how like when a guy know he can beat somebody,
Uh huh.
like Shock feels that in his soul, he know he can beat him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if that boy is not what it is, you gave Patty, you gave Patty a chance. Why not give Shock? You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's crazy. And then
Right.
that's duck talk. Why don't Devin go and fight Boots? Why are you trying to
Hmm.
make him go up in weight? Won't you go up
Yeah.
in weight? Won't you go to 147? Now you trying to rush him? You trying to rush
Yeah.
him to go to 154? How about you move up? You move up.
Right.
Forget a catch weight. You move up. You think what I'm saying? Devin already did what Devin has done. Devin's his accolades is better than most of these guys. You think what I'm saying? He's been a
Mhm.
champ. Look, he's three-time champion in three different weight class and undisputed in one. It don't get no better than that. The young man could quit now and be a Hall of Famer. Am I lying? Undisputed at 135, and then he was a champion at 140 and champion at 147. Some of the greats haven't accomplished that.
Oh man, you didn't say it. You didn't say a mouthful right there. What
You
do
know,
y'all
I
think
be
in the
cooking.
comments, y'all?
Yeah, I'm in here chefing.
Uh huh. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, speaking of duck talk, like you just said, I felt that vibe kind of too. Like I had seen something where, and hey, shout outs to my girl Alicia Bumgarner. She from Ohio. She from my state. So so, but still, hey, I call a spade a spade. I don't care. So, and she's drop dead gorgeous, but still, we gonna call a spade a spade. So, I'm trying to think where was I seen it at? It might have been a interview with Carolyn Dubois, but basically, Carolyn's explaining to the podcaster in the interview, like she keeps saying, like pretty much, um, she keeps referencing talking about Alicia Bumgarner. Oh, she's not a big enough star. This isn't, and I was like, man, that's just a way of her trying to swerve Carolyn Dubois. And I get it, y'all in two different weight classes, a 5 pounds difference. But it was you, Alicia, that claimed you would have went up at a catch weight to fight the much bigger Clarissa Shields, which I knew wasn't true, that you wasn't gonna do that. But it's just a principle. You can say that, but then you can't go up 5 pounds to fight Carolyn Dubois. I just don't get it, man. And we gotta give Miss Alicia Bumgarner grace because technically she's not in the same weight class, so she has that leverage to
Nah,
say,
nah. I just here's the thing. Caroline Dubois has been calling her out, going to her press conferences, doing everything to try to get the fight with Alicia Baumgardner. You know what I'm saying? She's been doing
"Mhm,
everything possible to get the fight with her. Now, Alicia says she's not a big enough star. That's fine, but I think she's a big enough bag. And what I mean by a big enough bag is, like I was just saying before, the Brits, they come out for their own. if they announced that fight and they did it in the UK, the amount of money that Alicia Baumgartner would get, I think would be the more money that she ever got in her career thus far. If she went up there and fought uh Caroline Dubois. So if she don't think she's the superstar, then she's definitely, you know what I'm saying? She definitely is gonna bring the bag.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I get it. And this is something that me and Cuzzo talked about. Shout outs to Cam J again. Is
Mhm.
they're letting them marinate. You know, they're letting them marinate
Yeah,
for.
and if I was Alicia Bunga, I heard somebody say in the comments that Dubois ain't ready. Well, hop on her now then. You know what I'm saying? If she ain't ready, hop on her before she is ready. You know what I'm saying? And then you can
Right,
get that out the
right.
way. You get
Exactly.
that right out the way.
Alicia should see the light bulb. Like, she's not as ready.
If you don't think,
This is the
yeah, if
time
she
that
you don't
I.
think she's ready, this is the
This is the
time.
best time. Yeah. Yep.
And you can, yeah. This is all boxing about strategy. You know what I'm saying? Fighting fighters when it's the good. Sugar Ray Leonard told us that. It's, they showed us that. It's fighting
Yeah.
the guys. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, catch them when they pants down. You know, shoot, this ain't about giving people when they're their best. You see what Ray did to Duran in the second fight. You know what I'm saying? And get him make sure when he got ballooned up. He was ballooned up and he called for that media rematch. He went in there for that bag, and that's why he lost that whole famous Domas. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He spent that whole training camp trying to lose weight because he ballooned up to like 200 and something pounds,
Fact.
celebrating.
Yep. Definitely, man. Most definitely. So let's talk about your boy Ryan Garcia versus Connor Ben.
That's a
Predictions and analysis on them.
mm, my predictions. Uh, I'm I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50, bro, and I'll tell you why. Um, does Ryan got a quick left hook? Yeah, he does. He does. But we already seen what it is if you pressure him. And we seen the type of pressure that Conor Ben brings and that type of energy. Now, can he keep that energy up for 12 rounds, right? And not get hit with something crazy? That's the big question, right? So I'm gonna lean more towards Ryan. You know what I'm saying? Being the nat being coming up to 147 and not having to cut all that weight and come down. I'm gonna give it a little edge to Ryan and his quickness, right? Because I
Hmm.
believe if he creates a little bit of distance, he can get that left hook off and he can stop the homie Conor Ben, right? But on the flip side, if he's not switched on and Conor Ben can and stop him from using that jab and he can rush him against the ropes and throw those flurries and do what he did to Chris Eubank, you know what I mean? Then I think that we might have a different type of fight. And where's this fight being taking place at?
Let me see real quick. Let me see. I thought it was in Vegas, but let me make sure. Yeah, T-Mobile, Las Vegas. Yep, it is in
Okay.
Vegas.
Yeah, T-Mobile Las Vegas, you know. Uh Yeah, that's one of those. It's just so many questions. Yeah, that's one of those. Yeah, that's a 50-50. Like it just really
Yeah,
it depends. There's a lot of depends. You know what I'm saying?
and
It's like a senior
man,
citizen home. It's a lot of depends.
man, and it's like I'm kind of like I'm pretty much on that same frame of mind when it comes to them, like 50-50. And I'm gonna think on it. That's how it is with these fights. Certain matches, it's like I'll feel a certain way. I might say 50-50, or I might lean towards this person, but
I'm
then I might go
might
watch
wake
more
up the
film.
next day feeling something out.
Exactly. Yeah, and feel a whole different way. So right now, like you said, I'm kind of 50-50, but it's kind of like with Styles making fights. It's like I know Ryan tried to say, "Well, you just seen me pull things out of the bag when you fought Mario Barrios," but Barrios didn't really present or pose a true threat. He's not
Exactly.
coming. He's not coming like Conor Ben is. So
You know what I'm saying? And we all, and that was the we see. Listen, that was a gimme. That
that
was
was
a
a
gimme
layup.
for
Yeah,
him.
that was a layup. Yeah.
He's the only one I know. Ryan's the only one I know, right?
Mm,
That gets these opportunities. Ryan gets the crazy opportunities. I don't even like. Listen, Ryan could be a drug cheat. Ryan can say racist things, and he still gets these opportunities. He can lose the fight, and then his next fight still fight for a title belt. Ryan got the golden key. He got the Willy Wonka's golden ticket. You know what I'm saying? So whatever Ryan is doing, I don't know. You know what it is because he got casual fans. I forget. That's what it is. I just answered my own question. What does he got? Ryan got the casual fans. It's not about what you do, it's how many butts you put in seats. And Ryan puts butts in seats with the casuals. You know what I'm saying? A lot of hardcores don't like him for the things that I just mentioned, right? But a lot of casuals like him. I know a lot of kids, you know what I'm saying? Even the little kids, some of the kids I train, they used to be like, yo, Ryan Garcia is this, he's this. I remember when when he was fighting Tank. Everybody was telling me, yeah, and this is for the title. I'm like,
excuse
how
me.
is Ryan fight? This ain't for the title. He's undisputed. How are they fighting for a title? You know what I'm saying? They was just
Hmm.
going off of what Ryan was saying because Ryan has all the TikTokers and the Instagrammers and all the little kids on the streaming platforms, the kicks and the twitches and all that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what
Hmm.
he does. He puts butts in seats, and that's why he gets these opportunities.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Thanks, Roy B. Yeah, I just looked it up. Vegas at T-Mobile. Um. So yeah, man. So that's a fight that I'm a marinate on it. I'm gonna do some more film study probably tonight before I go to bed. And I might come back with something different next episode. But right now, it's kind of like I'm leaning a little bit towards Rye, just because of the speed. But it's
Hmm.
an interesting style matchup. It's
Yeah.
definitely an interesting style matchup.
Yeah.
Okay,
Someone
let's.
also mentioned, yeah, there's a
What's that?
lot of some dope comments in there too. Somebody was saying about the weight. You know what I'm saying about Conor Ben. You know what I'm saying hasn't been at 147. Yeah, that's exactly what
For
I was saying too.
Oh,
You
that's
know what I'm
Wayne over
saying? Him not
UK.
being yeah, that's what I was saying. That's true. Like he hasn't been there. He hasn't been there in a while. You know what I mean? He hasn't he hasn't been there. Ryan hasn't been there in a while. So I mean, Connor hasn't been there a while. So it could be one of those cases where, he lost too much weight. He went up there to fight Chris, and it could be that day losing too much weight.
Hmm.
He could look crazy in there, like how when Roy came down. When Roy went
Jones.
up there,
Yeah.
Roy
Hmm.
came down from heavyweight to go back down to 175 to fight Taba.
Right.
Roy was never the same after that. Roy was never the
Never the
same.
same. Facts.
I wish Roy would have retired after that Ruiz fight. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what,
Because
man.
we would have been looking at him like a mythical figure in the sport of
Fact.
boxing.
Facts. You right, man. You're absolutely right. Speaking of Roy Jones, shout outs to my guy, Sean Blackwell in Columbus, Ohio, aka the Church. He's been on this show a few times, and he's a huge RJJ fan. So shout outs to the Church. All right, let's carry it over to heavyweight boxing. Match rooms, and I got hit to him by my cousin Cam J, who commented earlier in the chat. Terramona versus DeAndre Savage. And I'll give a little context on DeAndre Savage as far as his resume. I saw some of his footage, man, and I really am not I'm not wild by this Savage guy, DeAndre Savage.
I'm gonna be honest. All our heavyweight guys are in the NFL, or believe it or not, they're in the NBA. I don't see these guys. I don't see all the programs now. You don't see the big guy. You see, it's from 175 down. We gonna be ruined. The Americans is always gonna be in the mix. But as far as like the big boys go, they all in the NBA or they all in um the NFL. That's how I feel.
Man, and DeAndre looks like a football player. 11 wins, 11 knockouts, one loss, and no draws. 100% knockout ratio, but he's out of Flint,
Against who?
Michigan.
Against who?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Guess who? Now he's from Flint Town, up there where Clarissa Shields is
Mm-hmm.
from down with Salida Promotions.
Shout out to
Uh,
Detroit.
he fought Jefferson Troncosco in 2025. He also fought Brandon Moore. I've never heard of these. So I mean, not to take away from the guys he fought, not to take away from these guys, but he hasn't fought anybody of on a notable
No.
level or a note to know. Um, I think he's just going to be a standing target for Terramona as he moves up because Terramona is like ranked number 46 and he has 11 wins all by knockouts and he himself has a 100% knockout ratio. Um, and they're building him. I think good. They're building Terramona up. I think eventually, if he keeps doing his thing on his path, he might eventually cross paths with your boy Moses and Tuma in the future.
We don't want that.
But I was thinking the same thing, like, but Moses, he's waiting.
Leave that alone. Just leave that alone.
I was thinking the same thing, like,
Just leave that boy
oh
Moses
man,
alone, man.
yeah, Moses is different. So speaking of Moses, him and Philip Herkovic, man, that's a good style matchup. I think he's gonna
Mhm.
definitely get the rounds he needs, and
You think
um,
he's gonna get? I think he eventually gets to him.
I think he's gonna break him down. So I think,
This
yeah,
young man,
I think
right?
he'll break
This
him
young
down.
man is a great young talent. Is a great young talent. I hope they do the right. I hope they do right by him. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Learn from Anthony Joshua. See, this is what the problem with if you see. This is another reason why I gotta get Anthony Joshua props because he was fighting the best guys available back after back after back after back. He was coming in there trying to collect all the rings like Thanos. You know what I'm saying? When he came in there, he was trying to be all the belts. Just like how Earl was, EJ was. EJ and AJ was doing the same thing. They was doing the heavy lifting. I mean, Deontay Wilder was holding the WBC belt hostage. So he went over there, he grabbed those other belts from all the other guys who were streaming. So that's why I give AJ his credit too. And I hope they do the same move right with the young warrior Moses Latama and not have him, what I'm saying, fight the best back to back to back to back.
Yeah, 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 absolutely, man. I agree. Shout outs to the up and coming young Moses and Tuma for sure. I like what I see from him, and I see a good future for him in the heavyweight division. So we got a couple more topics, maybe like two or three more.
Yeah.
Um, so in
We're gonna
women's
be chefing
boxing,
up in here.
what's that, bro?
I told you we're gonna be chefing up.
Oh yeah, you
We're
already
gonna be
know,
cooking.
man. You already know. So in women's boxing, speaking of Flint Town, Clarissa Shields versus Kay Scott out of Australia. And Kay Scott's only had like maybe 5 fights. I think, this is what now. Let me know what you think. And I just talked about the church earlier, so the church was on my show, and he said he believes that Clarissa Shields is going down in weight. She's going to fight Kay Scott, but she's trying to line up her fight to
Alicia.
fight. Well, not her. Well, her eventually, but Michaela Mayer first. She thinks she thinks
Yeah.
she's got her sights on her, and Michaela Mayer is going to fight Chantel Cameron here soon. That's going to be
Yeah.
a
And
decent
unify.
match. Yeah.
Yeah, ladies are trying to unify.
Yep. All come full circle, man. So, I mean, Chantel Cameron, she's the only female that beat Katie Taylor back in the day. Gave her her only loss, but I think from a technical standpoint that Michaela Mayer is better. Like fundamentally, technically, precision. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Um, Chantel Cameron, she's okay. She kind of keeps coming in and just unloading a lot of punches, but I think she can get a little reckless. So I think Michaela Mayer should beat her. That's what I feel.
Yeah, I think Michaela's gonna beat her. And I think that Carissa Shields is gonna wash the other young lady.
Yeah, yeah, she's gonna watch K Scott.
Yeah. And I think they're gonna get it on and popping. Um, I could see that too. I remember that, they did say if she gets down in weight, that they will get it on. And but I think Maya has too much respect for Clarissa. So I see her losing too. You know what I mean? She's coming in with
Yeah,
too much respect.
yeah, and when you at that level, you can't have that kind of respect. You know, I
Nah,
mean,
not at all.
once the fight is over, embrace
Hmm.
sportsmanship, all that. But right now, your mind frame got to be like, hey, this is just another person like anybody else, and we gonna get it in. Like how Holyfield and Riddick Bowe ended up being friends, but when they got in the ring, you never could sense that because they was in there acting crazy during that trilogy. That Bo Holyfield, that was straight war.
Yeah,
Man,
definitely.
that's in my era. That '90s era was my boxing era. I mean, started off with Mike Tyson when I was like 8 years old. See my first Mike Tyson fight. I was hooked to boxing. All right, we got like one or two more subjects.
Yeah, yeah. My first see the 80s was big for me. My mom was a big Thomas the Hitman Hearns fan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I love Sugar Ray because of my name, you know what I mean?
Uh huh.
But Sugar Ray was a monster, Thomas the Hitman Hearns was the monster. I remember watching my favorite show when I was a kid. I remember when after the fight, I think it was after the fight with Hagler fought Tommy Hearns. Hagler ended up showing up on an episode of Punky Brewster. Do you remember that?
Yep.
That's how old I am.
Man, you taking me back. Yeah, we back. Yeah, yeah. We
Yeah.
yeah. I'm in my 40s. I'm getting close to. I'm 3 years from 50. So yeah.
Okay, we there. We the same age, brother.
Hmm. Yeah, man. So that was a good times, man, for sure. Um. So another person bubbling over there in the UK. And shouts to Wayne. Wayne, you said Mayor versus Cameron, best female fight this year. Yeah, man, it definitely has a lot of potential. It has a lot of potential. So speaking of UK, Ben Whitaker will be fighting Connor Wallace, a southpaw. I've seen some footage on Connor Wallace. He's he just doesn't bring anything to the table spectacular. I think it's going to be I think Ben Whitaker might do him as bad as he did Popeye when he made his debut over here in America. Um, I just don't see anything Connor Wallace could bring that's going to be troublesome. for Ben Whitaker. Ben Whitaker
Yeah.
has so many different levels. Like he's just good all the way around. He got the speed, twitch muscle. He's fast.
They
Yeah,
doing right.
yeah,
They doing right. They ain't putting him in there with no killers. They let him, become a superstar. Cause that's what that kid is. That kid is a superstar. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? He remind me a little
Hmm.
bit of the Prince. You know what I'm saying? Like how he, showboating, doing these punches and stuff like that. How he be acting remind
Yeah.
me of the Prince. The
Prince not
UK got
saying,
another
yep.
Prince on their head. Yes, you know it. They got
Uh
another
huh.
Prince on their hand. They just gotta move him right. If they want him to sell some tickets, just continue to doing what they doing. They want him to make some money. They want to make some money off the kid. Continue to do what you're doing. Build up his profile. Don't put him in there with no killers. You know what I mean? That's how they gonna move it. If you want him to be a star,
Absolutely. Yeah. That's very, very smart. Very smart way to manage somebody like that. Um, so okay, we got about, like I say, another one or two things now. Somebody that I have my eye on, I really like is Boots Ennis. Um, saw him do his thing, of course, off the win with Xander Zayas. Now, it could it be a possible unification with Josh Kelly and Boots Ennis? Do you think that that might come to fruition? And is Josh Kelly? How would you see that if it hypothetically if it happens? How would you see that fight going?
it all comes down to if Josh Kelly, how much Josh Kelly want to sell that belt for. That's what it comes down to, my brother. How much does Josh Kelly want to sell that belt for? Because this is the play for me. This is the play for me. Fondora got a mandatory that he got to get rid of, right? Let
Mhm,
Boost go and grab that from Josh Kelly. Y'all over on the same side of the street, ain't that what they call it? On it with the zone in Matchroom, right? Y'all on the same side of the street. That's an easy fight to make. You dig what I'm
mhm.
saying? Ask Josh how much he want for the belt and let Boots go over there and take it. You dig what I'm saying? And then we got
Yeah.
undisputed at 154 because Fondora already says he wants Boots after this mandatory. So let's make it juicy and fight for undisputed. You know what I'm saying? At 154.
At 154. I love that, man. That's a great plan and a roadmap to bring them together for that, man. Um, yeah, that's what I like
That's
about
me
boxing,
wishful
man.
thinking. That's me
Yeah,
wishful thinking.
yep, for sure, man. What y'all think in the comments? What y'all think about what he just laid down, y'all? And I got two more things. We gonna save one of the best for last. One of the best for last. But so in female boxing, Carolyn Dubois, she will fight Amelia Moore. Uh, the little bit that I've seen from Amelia Moore, she's only had 4 or 5 fights. I want to say she's out of Australia as well, and she's worked with Bud Crawford some, but I haven't seen a lot in depth on the footage of her and Bud Crawford. But I know that she had mentioned him in an interview before, so uh, she said she's coming to fight and give it her all. But I personally think that Carolyn's going to be too much for her. It might be like a mid-round TKO stoppage, maybe like 7 or 8 round stoppage or something. All right, you hear me, bro?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, kind of. It broke up a little
Oh
bit.
yeah, yeah. I said, I can't. I don't like when I hear fighters name dropping other fighters. Like, yeah, I was working with TC. TC ain't
Yeah,
gonna be in there fighting for you.
facts, facts, facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He ain't gonna be in there throwing them hands for you.
Man, you ain't never lied, bro. That's real. Definitely ain't gonna be in there. She gotta hold it down on her
Yeah,
own.
dude, they could be in there. They could be.
He be in there with Floyd. I done seen a lot of people be in the gym with Floyd and then go get rocked, knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Just because you in the
Mhm.
gym with these guys don't mean nothing.
Man. All right. Well,
But yeah,
we've had a
but shout
dope
out to
show.
Caroline Dubois. Yeah, shout out to Caroline Dubois. She left her old she trying to do something new. She trying to, be her own woman.
Man, that part. Facts.
Yeah,
She
she wants to be her
definitely
own woman.
is.
She want to wear dresses now. You know what I'm saying? She don't want to be her dad's too controlling. She want to be dressed. She wants to glow up like the glow. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Yep.
That's yeah. That's what's going on right now.
Yeah, definitely shout outs to Sweet Carolyn. I rock with Carolyn Dubois. Um,
Shout out to Carolyn Dubois.
so for the final topic is somebody we talked about earlier, and we're gonna go out with him as well. Earl Spence. He was
Hmm.
retirement and his last fight with Tim Zoo over in Australia. Um, I could definitely say with all that he had been through with 3 years out the ring rust, rib injury prior to need to get prepped for the Bud fight back then.
Hmm.
With
Did the
all
test
the
retinas?
adversity, yeah, I mean he made it 12 rounds, man. He could have been that type of guy that said, "Hey, I'm getting paid regardless. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in the
Hmm.
towel,
Hmm.
4 or 5 rounds
Yeah, he could
in."
have
But
packed it
nah,
out.
he didn't do that,
He
man.
could have packed it up. He could have packed it up. He
Went
definitely
out,
could have.
yes sir. Went out on his shield though. So
Yeah. Well,
big,
he
big,
didn't go out on the shield. He went 12 rounds. You know what I'm
yep,
saying? But he was
yep.
willing to go out on his
But
shield.
he's willing to go out on the shield. Yep,
He was
yep.
willing to go out on his shield. It showed a lot of heart. And I think he should ride off in the sunset. I never wanted to see him fight again anyway after the TC fight because I know a little something about concussions. Yeah, he came back after the Ferrari flips and fought Denny Garcia and stuff like that. But you got to understand something about concussions. The effects take place later. Stuff happens like that. Effects of concussions happen later. Stuff like that, your motor skills and stuff like that. I knew that night, when we was doing the watching, I said, "What's wrong with EJ?" When they showed him in the locker room, I said, "Why his eyes look like that?" He looked messed up. No excuses. I don't want to take nothing away from TC, but I was saying it before the fight started. That something seemed off, and you can see it now. His punches, this isn't there. And I think that has something to do with getting your face broken. You know what I'm saying? And all this other stuff that happened. I just really wish that, you know what I'm saying, he didn't come back. But, he wanted to see for himself and he got a chance to see for himself. He made some money and he gets to go back on that beautiful farm of his and spend time with his children. So shout out to AJ. And I think he deserves to get into the Hall of Fame.
You hear that, EJ? Errol Spence. He feels that he should get into the Hall of Fame. What do y'all think in the chat before we close out? Or those who check out this throughout the week, weigh in. Let us know what y'all feel in the chat or in the comment area. Let me know. Does Errol Spence belong in the Hall of Fame as the commissioner Ray Trilogy just stated, and as Andre Ward and Shakur Stevenson has stated, uh, that he deserves to be there. We had a heck of a show tonight. Time. It's an old cliche. Time moves when you're having fun, and we gave y'all like two good hours of um, us chopping it up about the sport that we're both uh, fond and passionate about. Wayne, you said Spence should definitely get in the Hall of Fame. Hey, much respect, mate. From U.S. to U.K., much respect, Wayne. You a real one for that one. Real, recognize real, man. That's real, Wayne. So before we close it out, man, any shout outs you want to give to your city and fam and all that?
Um, yeah, man. Actually, bro, this has been fun, man. I was sitting here at work, getting some work done, and I got a chance to chop it up some boxing with you as well, man. It don't get no better than that, my brother. I got to knock out two birds with one
Mm-hmm.
stone.
Absolutely. Hit that
Subscribe to the
thumbs
brother,
up.
man. He's definitely one of those ones. And check him out on all the spaces, you dig? You can find me just tapping my name at Ray Trilogy. That's RAETRILOGY. And you'll see me everywhere. Like I said, I got a podcast with my bro, WeKO Boxing from the Boxing Voices called Across the Way from the US to the UK. We just started the channel about a week ago, man, and we doing our thing. You know, if y'all know me, y'all see my face. I'm from the Boxing Bros. You know what I mean? Boxing Bros USA. And then
Yeah, I'm a
but
big
now
fan
I'm
of
starting my
them.
own. Yeah,
Yeah, the
thank you, my
Boxer
brother.
Bros. Yeah.
Yeah, and then now started my own channel called Across the Way from the US to the UK. So tap in, man. Like I said, man, whenever you need me, man, I'm here. I love the kickboxing with you, my brother. You know, we both passionate about the sport that we love, man. I respect your boxing mind, man. So I'm always there to chop it up with you, brother.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Likewise, the feeling is
Hmm.
mutual for sure.
And the chat was live. Shout out to the chat. You guys in there was live. Y'all was really talking that boxing talk. I love it. You know what I mean? It's good. It was good, man. I had fun.
Absolutely. So shout outs to everybody who tuned in tonight. Um, oh, he said put your channel in the chat.
Oh, okay, I
can
got
you
you.
put your link down there? So y'all, I want to say, as I've always said, I appreciate all the unwavering support. City of Cincinnati, um, Woodlawn, where I'm from, Lincoln Heights, where my mom and dad is from. Lincoln Heights, Ohio, Zone 15, um, which is the home of the Isley brothers, and some other notable people. Shout outs to the city of Cincinnati, Ohio. Shout outs to Boston, Beantown, where fam is from, and we just really appreciate having good sit downs like this, and we're gonna do this again in the future. We're gonna rock it out again. Um, recapping fights, predictions, and stuff like that. So, for everybody that's here, y'all, every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the USA. Y'all all be safe, and I will catch you all on the next round. Peace.